Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just thank you. You made a Mario movie. That's all you had to do is make a video game movie. Mario is in the world of Mario, and we do Mario things with the Mario world, and it's not humans finding a portal to the Mario world. It's not Mario finding a portal to Earth. I mean, sort of. It's just a Mario movie. That's all you had to do. Thank you so much. You didn't have to overcomplicate it. You didn't have to make it live action. You didn't have to do anything else. Just thank you for making a video game movie. So the newest Mario film is out. It is here. It's been out. I'm sure you've all seen it because, again, I'm doing late reviews right now. But the Mario movie, I had a lot of fun with it. The movie was a lot of fun. I think it did what it needed to do. My favorite element of this movie is the voice acting. I think everyone did a great job. I thought Chris Pratt was fantastic as Mario. At first I was worried, like anyone I think, when we first heard that news, but in the movie I just kind of forgot it was Chris Pratt. I fell into his voice. It's a little more reserved, and I appreciate that because I think if it was going over animated, it would still feel like an imitation of the original voice actor, and I feel like that would do more of a disservice to the movie than Chris Pratt trying to just do his own thing, and I appreciate that Chris Pratt did his own thing with this performance. It worked for me, and same thing with Charlie Day. I thought he was perfect casting as Luigi, and when you get to the chemistry of this film, that's what I love the most about it. My favorite emotional anchor for this movie is the fact that it's a brotherly love story. It's a romance story. I love a story about sibling relationships. I'm a sucker for it in my movies. And Mario has that. And I really love the relationship between Mario and Luigi. I didn't expect it to be that much of a forefront in this film. I don't know why I didn't expect that. I just didn't. But I'm really glad they went that route. And on top of that, it added a nice dynamic. Especially when Mario goes to meet Peach and, you know, everyone else in the Mushroom Kingdom, and same thing with meeting Donkey Kong. I think it's all really cleverly done because the film is about the pursuit of saving Luigi. And once that story kicks off, yes, you don't get as much chemistry between Mario and Luigi throughout the film during the second and third act. However, I think that adds to the stakes of it. I actually heard the criticism with this movie being the fact that people are upset that Mario and Luigi get separated. I thought that added to the strength of the film because you're supposed to miss that chemistry. You're supposed to miss when they're on screen together because I think that adds to the weight of the movie. It adds to the fact that Mario misses his brother. And I thought that was actually really cleverly done. We're going to get more of these movies, obviously. Probably going to get more Luigi in the sequels. I hope we do. I would love, honestly, a Luigi spinoff. I want a Luigi's Mansion movie. Got a hint of that here. Could have used more, personally. Just putting that out there. What we do get, I think, works perfectly for this movie and a first entry for what hopefully can be more Mario movies. Do I love this movie? No. I do think it has flaws. Sometimes the emotional weight does detract, but that's because the movie does move so fast at such a quick rate that sometimes it's hard to breathe with scenes. It's very straight to the point. So yes, I was never weeping. I was never emotionally punched in the face by this movie. I was never crying. It was never a Pixar movie moment. And I've seen a lot of people beg for that. And I do think this movie could have gone for that a little more. I would have actually appreciated that. But what we got, I still had fun enough, and there was still enough emotional engagement there that I was invested. That's really about it. It just moves a little too fast for its own good sometimes. Sometimes I think with the writing, it feels like the film's a little unconfident in its emotional hooks and its emotional moments, so they don't really delve on it. They don't really dive into it too much, where I think the movie had full reign to do it. I thought it was setting up great emotional moments for a conclusion. In terms of the characters, I loved them all. I really liked Mario. I liked meeting his family. I liked getting to get that element of it. And it does a good job at, again, setting up the world that we could see for later. There's a lot of great Easter eggs in this movie that don't feel ham-fisted. They just feel like they're naturally happening as Mario traverses the landscape. And I really appreciate that as well. So you're never feeling distracted by stuff. It's always fan service in a fun way. It's like, ooh, I could see that. That's cool. I'm glad that's alive there. I'm glad that exists over there. I'm just glad we have a living, breathing Mario world that's just existing in the background because it creates a natural authenticity to it all. Everything's just naturally lived in this movie when you see the other environments, so it doesn't feel like the movie's just trying to throw a bunch of stuff at you at once. And while it does do that, it's not detracting you out of the movie. It's not pulling you directly out, or at least it didn't pull me directly out. Talk about comedic timing. This movie has a lot of great comedic bits to it. I think the moments with Jack Black are perfect. I think Jack Black is my favorite performance in this movie. He just sells every scene he's in, and I love the shtick they choose to do with Bowser, with having him just be obsessed with Princess Peach. It adds such a funny layer to the character, and I think it makes for some great moments. Another really fun thing it does is it highlights the point point that Bowser wants Peach, but we can also do something where it's not the princess getting kidnapped trope all the time. And I like how the movie was able to dodge that trope while still giving us an accurate dynamic between Mario and Bowser. That was so cleverly done, and I'm happy they were able to keep that rivalry while also being a little more progressive with the female role of Princess Peach. I think that's cool, and I think it's awesome, and I loved Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach. There are just moments where I feel like I could have used a little more of her. I could have learned more about her as a character. We're very quick once we get to her castle and we meet her, and then we're already off to the training montage, so we don't really get a lot of time with her that I could have, really appreciated and really lived in her world a bit more. I hope we get that in the sequel. This movie does such a good job at introducing stuff that I want to see more of it. Overall, what I think about Mario is, it's a solid movie. I'm just glad they did it. They just made a video game movie. Creators of video game adaptations, Halo, take pride in not touching the video game. They take pride in not showing off the established lore that's there that you could easily pull from, and they always want to go do their own thing. And if you're going to adapt from a video game, at least use the elements of that property and use them in a respectful way. I thought this movie did a great job at doing that, as to where a lot of other video game movies typically don't. So, it makes me happy. The Legend is dying, Last of Us is killing it, same thing with the Mario movie, video game adaptations are getting good. And it makes me happy. It's just a good time. I just really dug this movie. I think Mario, again, is a really fun time at the movies. I would definitely recommend if you have kids, go see it. Go watch it. It's a fun time. You've all already seen it. Again, this is a late review. I'm Justin. That was my scatterbrain review of Super Mario Bros. Movie. I can't wait for more. I hope we get more from this world. I'll see you next time.